So you're a fan of Atlanta United, and after winning MLS Cup in year 2, you'd think we'd be contending every year.
Yep, I'm pretty sure that's what you guys thought.
6 years, 3 coaches, an interim coach,
Twice.
and no legitimate runs at the title? What the hell happened?
Well, you've come to the right place.
Was it bad front office player management?
Probably.
Were the coaches all wrong?
Yep.
Did the tactics suck?
Definitely.
Didn't we already cover that?
Yeah, but it's a new era with new hope and new questions to discuss.
Is Deila the answer? Are Lagerwey and Henderson the right dynamic duo? Or will they spend all our gam on another Miguel Berry?
Join us as we drink wine, break it all down, and sort it all out.
I'm Mikey Dobbs.
I'm David Katz.
And I'm Carmen Butler.
And this is Season 7
of the ATL on Fire podcast show.
Hey everybody, welcome back to another episode of ATL on Fire, the podcast where we talk all things Atlanta United football and all things soccer. Dave, Carmen, how are y'all doing this evening? Friday night here in Atlanta.
Friday Night Lights.
Ooh.
Bringing it down.
I'm great. I'm
Yeah,
good.
good.
Yes.
It either says it's hip or none of us have anything else better to do.
Well,
No comment.
Oh,
as you know, I'm here begrudgingly. We haven't done a podcast
That's
in
true.
like a month.
we kidnapped Mikey Dobbs.
Pretty much.
There's nothing positive to talk about, so we just kind of dragged ourselves back into the studio I put together again today. This is just so tough, man.
What are you trying to say? The team's not good?
I mean,
Yeah, they're not. I mean, you are what you score, and we don't do much.
We're close to the top of the table, aren't we, Mikey Dobbs?
I mean, we talked about the worry meter.
Yeah.
And
worry meter, let's go.
It escalated real
Whoa.
fast for me.
You at a 10 now?
I was like, yeah, no, I think I'm this one goes to 11. I mean, like I said at the beginning, it has to turn around, right? Like, oh, worry meter, everybody calm down. And you're going to try to be like, Mike, this league's forgiving and all these things. And I'm just not going to agree with you on any of
right.
it. So you got
Gotta be an epic podcast.
if you're going to try
people.
to keep me positive, you're probably going to have a tough time. So anyway,
I'm not going to try to keep you positive. I'm just going to try to tamp down the negative.
let's
I'll be fine.
It's like a glass half full, glass half empty kind of thing.
talking about glass half
Yeah,
empty.
our glasses
already.
are half full. Thank
Because it's
goodness.
Done.
absolutely
Segue.
delicious. You've brought another wonderful themed wine, so I figure we'll bring in our friend Gemini as well, just to
Okay.
to help us
AI on the podcast. Let's
AI on the podcast to get a little bit of a description of what we're drinking this evening. So let's see
AI
here.
for the soccer guy.
Yeah.
You got it.
Oh, there it is.
All right, what are we drinking here this evening?
We've got 2 Cabernet Sauvignons here. The one on the right is Freak Show, and the one on the left is Rodney Strong.
She's outing us already. 2 bottles.
Yeah, 2 bottles. Yeah.
What?
So
We're
yeah.
only supposed to talk about one.
The volume wasn't great there, but yeah, Freak Show. It said, what did it say? Kind of was that the plum or is that
Full-bodied with vanilla
fruits.
and spice.
the vanilla
Yeah.
and spice?
And some dark fruits. I
Dark
think she said, and
fruits.
she explained
Do you taste the dark fruits, Carmen?
Oh, I haven't tasted yet, but yes, I
What
do.
about, and also we need to comment on the vanilla and spice. Is she right or wrong?
She's right on.
Yeah.
I trust Gemini.
yeah?
Yeah.
I'm wary. I never trust Gemini. I think
I-
she's full of it.
Not gonna lie, this is one of my favorite wines you brought. Like, this is really good.
Okay, good.
It's very
The
good.
wine's good. I agree with her.
wine
The
is
wine's
good.
good, but
Yes.
Very
that's
nice.
as far as I'm willing to go, Gemini.
Yeah. All right. So yeah, and
I trust us peoples more than the pewters. Let's go.
sponsors.
Yeah.
Wild Heaven Brewery was just up there earlier.
The sponsors are great, so there's
Yeah.
something that's positive.
That is
Something
positive.
that
I
is
mean, come on.
positive. Yes. Yay, Wild Heaven.
So, yeah, I saw Nick and Hayden up there. Hayden was going over to their location over in Toco Hills.
Nice.
A great spot to get some barbecue and beers.
I ran into
Talk to
Hayden
Hayden.
the other day in Toco Hills. I mean, I just might happen to have been there.
Like he is every other weekend, but that's okay. Continue.
They've got a location on the west side that's super popular, and the one here in Avondale Estates. Get yourself
Yes.
a cold beer.
Yeah.
Happy
Cold beer.
hour.
It's summer. It's good time
Yeah.
for a cold beer.
Yeah, and Avondale Estate's here. We're finishing some construction. Hopefully, at the top of the neighborhood won't be.
You think that's going to be done in the next decade?
I don't know. It's well,
Okay.
city's running that.
It's pretty crazy how they set up those cones, people. It seems like Formula One. You're like,
It really
you're
does.
going in a lane, and then the cones go the other way. There's no warning. I like it.
They change every time.
Yeah.
too.
That's
It's
the
awesome.
thing.
I
No
like
warning, no real
like it.
plan. It seems like it's like let's see what happens. Put a bunch of cones out.
And also, let's thank Wolf Mountain Vineyards. Go get yourself a glass of wine up there and have lunch. Great time of year to get up there, up in Dahlonega, Georgia.
Yes.
Great place also to get married, have big events like that. I mean, talk about views.
Right.
Great views over wine vineyard. I mean,
Right.
that's the speed right there. So I just want to keep talking about wine. But do we have anything?
We could.
We've got 3 soccer games to talk about. We've lost to
Well,
Philadelphia.
the first game, let's say, Mikey Dobbs, so it's your fault, right?
Yeah, I turned 50, and I brought the entire party down. We had a great party here, and Atlanta United was
That's
playing.
correct.
Yes, fantastic party.
Thank you, Atlanta United, for bringing the entire vibe down.
And Wild Heaven provided the keg.
Yeah.
It was
I had like 72 glasses of beer.
Yeah.
It was great.
Still
and then,
didn't help the vibe.
No. The more beer I drank, the worse the team got.
It was pretty bad.
It was horrific.
Yeah.
Even though I did enjoy when Mikey Dobbs, you literally just kind of stomped into your porch where we were all
Yeah.
watching the game and just turned it off.
Yeah.
It's like, no, it's ruining my party. Can't
Yeah,
do it
it
anymore.
is.
Not
Ruining
doing
my
it.
party. Yeah.
It's
I had
a
a
party.
awesome
I
new
can cry if I want
Atlanta
to.
United jersey
Cry
on with
if I
Dobbs
want
50
to.
on the back.
Cry if I want to.
Don't do
You
that.
would cry
Stop that.
too. It happened to you. Okay.
All right. So a 3-0 loss during that. We had a red card.
That
in
was one of our
When
worst
did we get
games
the-
in a long time.
When did we get a red card?
Why did we get it?
Do you remember the red card in that match?
don't know.
But we did get a red. That was the one that was a red card.
Oh, wait. Did we get it or did the other team get it? And we couldn't score.
They got a red
Yeah.
card. We were up a man.
That's
and then
how bad
we
we
gave
were.
up goals up a man.
Yeah, that's what it was.
That's it. Yeah, that was the game.
I was trying to
Okay.
recall in my
Can we
stupid,
move
but
on?
I do recall that.
Can we move on? I mean, it's fair that I don't remember that game. To be
Fair.
honest.
Yeah.
Fair.
Definitely
That's fair for you.
And thankfully, I've totally forgotten about it.
Carmen and
It's
I
a
were
great
being-
podcast.
We're being responsible.
I'm about to say this may be the shortest podcast I mean, Cass is going to help us out,
Yeah.
but
Oh.
it really, I don't know. We'll
I
see.
may not be able to help. I
Yeah,
mean,
after my text after the Nashville draw,
we're gonna get to that.
there's
You're getting ahead
there's
of
too much
yourself.
light in the fire. There's only an ember, people. Trust me. I've only got an ember of energy left to continue to come on this podcast and try to
Let's
talk about
let's,
anything.
Carmen, maybe you can prompt us here, right? So
what's
let's be the cynical fan. Let's ask the questions. What's wrong with the team? Right? All right. What do you want to know?
Oh, gosh.
What does the fans want to know?
In terms of like what's going on?
Yeah.
Okay.
What do we want to know? You asked the one question
Yes.
earlier.
My first question is, I mean, we've scored one goal in the last 3 games, right? Something like
Yep.
that.
Yep.
And why aren't we scoring more? But specifically, Latte Lath, as quick, fast, good as he is, what's the issue?
Now, to be fair, one of the games he didn't play because he
Okay.
was on yellow card suspension. So
Okay.
you can't score if you don't play. I don't know if you know that.
Okay, that's the first thing. Next, what's the next?
So he
But he
scored.
did play 2 of the 3 games.
And he scored in one of those 2, right?
No.
He did.
No.
Oh, Almiron scored the one.
Almiron
Almiron
scored.
scored, yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah.
So what's
he's
happening?
been shut out. Mikey Dobbs, what do you think? What's going on? Why can't Latte La score? Does he suck? Or is the team suck? Or what's going on?
I mean, he certainly has had a few opportunities. I think he should have finished.
Okay.
So there, I've seen amazing stuff from his heading capabilities. He's so quick to. He makes great movement. So it's clear he should be getting goals. A couple of times where he's gotten himself into great situations, he's not got it past the keeper where I thought he could have a couple times. But he at least put it on frame. Like he's not missing the frame. I'd rather see players, make the keeper make a save. So he's been doing that.
Yeah.
So it's not like he's far off, right? So
Okay.
I think the problem is really elsewhere. I mean, obviously he's a great finisher. So
Okay, so Mikey Dobbs thinks that it's not Latte.
it's not Latte Loth. No.
Okay. All right. That's
I
good
agree
to
with
know.
him.
Okay.
It's not Latte Loth's problem.
Okay.
So Latte Loth, he missed one. I think it wasn't in the last 3 games, but he walked in on the goal and he didn't do a great job. He does, I have to say, if there's a critique of him, on the ball with the ball at his feet, he doesn't look like the sophisticated finisher that, like, for example, Martinez was, where he would, lean you one way and go the other way. He seems a little bit more straightforward, but he does seem to hit a ball. He can hit it with both feet. His movement in the box, I've watched a lot. He moves in the box. Yeah. I think he's going to score.
Yeah.
Okay.
And I also think there's something wrong with the way that our attacking four, it didn't work as well as it should have out of the gates when I liked it, where we were putting high pressure up front and our back line was pressing as well. So I was very positive on what I was seeing at the beginning of the season.
That's right.
But it seems to have fallen apart.
Yeah, what's falling apart?
Well, the press isn't really...
Do tell.
The press isn't really working out.
That is...
In a lot of ways, though. The press isn't working
Press isn't working at all.
At all. And it's not working on a number of fronts, right?
Why?
Well, because first off, I'm not seeing the same organization of the front four themselves, which they were really well organized on their press.
Okay, all right.
At the beginning of the season, you saw, Latte and Saba, and then on the left, Almiron. Like, it was just a wall of pressure up front, and then you had Marinchuk behind. It was like all four of them were up there.
Yeah.
And it was like, man, they really were making people have to think fast. So they were trying to play through that line. And then we had another wave of people pressing behind.
That's right.
And it forced teams to really kind of play the ball back or really try to beat somebody, or it slowed down possession. And then those four could retreat. And there was still kind of a nice formation of organization. I have not seen that in several games now.
Now, Carmen, you've been on the podcast long enough to know.
Okay.
First thing that you need if you're going to press and turn people over up the field is...
Oh, geez, I have none, but I'm blanking.
I can answer
Mikey
for
Dobbs?
it. You need your defensive line to be pressing.
You need to actually take away the outlets. Because if you can press up the wazoo and if they have an easy outlet. So let's actually go. We're going to go out of order here.
Uh-oh.
I want to prove to you. Let's prove it with the clips. Even in the highlights, I think that we can prove this. Okay, so let's go to the Nashville game. Let's skip all the way to the Nashville game. And we're going to start at 5:19 in the highlights in the Nashville game. We're going to start with a Nashville highlight.
I like that because I want to forget about the other two. We don't need to talk about those other
Go to
games.
5:19 in the highlights. It's almost at the end of the highlights. I literally have it to the second.
5:19, you said?
Yeah, 5:19.
Okay.
And then put it on the big screen, and then I will take over.
Okay.
Make sure we got it all right.
Make sure the volume's off so that we don't get busted.
It is off. It is off. See, Carmen's back, and we're going to have no technical issues.
I wouldn't say all that now. I'm just trying to remember how to work all this stuff. Okay.
All right. So here's the thing. So if you're out there, watching on the YouTube channel, if you're not, switch over to the YouTube channel now. Okay. So if you notice, this is a Nashville highlight, but who has the ball?
Oh, looks like we do.
We do. Okay, so this is a case where Nashville just turned the ball over, right? And we're trying to counter here, right? So we've got one. No, that's Nashville.
That's
Nashville.
Nashville.
1, 2, 3, and then this is Latte Loth.
Yeah.
Okay, so Carmen, let's ask the question. So Mikey Dobbs just told us that the key to a counter press is having the outlet marked up. Mm-hmm. Is the outlet marked up?
Got two people on that guy.
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay. So right now, right? I mean, he's got.
I'll still take that bet for Latte Loth. You put that over the top, though.
Well, let's see what he does. So it's
a good ball.
Who is running with the ball? It's Fortune and Miranchuk running up the field, right? So this is Fortune, and I think it's Miranchuk on the ball. All right. Let's see. Let's see where he's going to go. Ready? Play short. Oh, actually, that's to Miranchuk. I think he's on the ball now. Oh.
That's not good.
All right, so what happened?
Well, first off, the guy should have played it over the top to Latte Loth and made that a foot race.
Sure.
100%. And he played...
That was a pretty hopeful ball, but I think you're right.
Yeah, he played a hospital ball to Miranchuk, and he got run over, and now, Nashville's got a press on themselves.
Yeah.
So
if we back it up like 1/2 second, because I'll do this. Okay.
Yeah.
When he gets this ball, he gets the ball right here, right? Where does he have to go with the ball?
Back.
Because, now, first of all, your over-the-top ball is gone, right? Because Latte Loth ran offside.
Yep.
Now, that means that he was looking for that one, right?
Of course he was. That's why that's what he does. That's why you play that ball to him.
Yeah.
You stretch the team too.
But okay, so now you made that square pass. So this was the decision not to play it over top and made the square pass, right? But now where does Miranchuk have to go for
Brooks
with the ball?
Lennon or whoever's the right back?
Yeah, all you have to do is the only choice is to turn and go back.
Yeah.
Right. So he takes a touch. By the time he takes a touch, he's got two guys closing him down and nowhere to go with the ball. So his touch isn't really perfect, but boom, he loses the ball. Okay. So we won't even need to go west what happens on this play. Nashville gets a decent chance. They come up the field, right? Okay, so now let's go. I'll do it. Yeah, 410.
410.
Okay, so now it's the opposite, right? So we are going to get the ball on a counter, right? Sorry, we have the ball, and Nashville's going to turn us over, right? So let's watch. Right, they just turned us over. Okay, so we had the ball. I'm going to go back 1 second so you can see it again.
Yeah.
So we just turned the ball over. And if you notice, okay, we're trying to counter press here, right? So this is really good, right? This is Amador trying to counter press. This square ball is marked up. This little outlet is, maybe available, but it's tough, right? So we've got a really good counter press here, right? But he plays in the middle. So this is the equivalent of the ball to Latte Loth, right? Now, I'm going to play it to him. Okay, where's our center backs?
Well, I don't know. Is anyone up further?
No.
Yeah.
Oh, well then, yeah, that's craziness.
Not on that guy.
No.
Anywhere.
So this is the exact same situation that we just saw from Nashville, where they had Latte Loth surrounded with two players.
Stop it here. Stop. Look at the space. And you're telling me there's no more yellow jerseys on our half of the field?
No, because why should we play?
Yeah, there's one. But then there's three.
But the two center backs, there's one guy out wide.
Yeah,
but
which
the
is fine.
two
We had
center backs are here.
It's crazy.
Yeah.
That's the problem, people.
He's heating up.
And one of those players is Abram, no?
I told you I was going to prove it to you. Right? So those were like almost the exact same clips, right?
Uh-huh.
Nashville on the outlet, they had Latte Loth surrounded by two guys right at midfield, right? To the point where the only ball they had was the ball over the top, right? Which would have been, an option, but aimless ball at the top, let's give it a run. Look at the distance. And I'm going to go back like slightly because when he gets the ball, the defenders are not even in the picture.
Yeah, not even in the picture, man.
I mean, they had two guys within 2 yards of Latte Loth.
Why in the world would they have been that far back?
Because they suck.
Are they slow? Like super slow?
No. So what happens is that
And I know, and listening to Ronnie Deila in an interview, he wants them up.
Yeah.
He's like, I like to play a super high press, even with my back line being way up the field in their half.
So in this case,
So they must not be listening to him.
well, so what happens here is these guys have been so poorly coached over their entire careers, right? So you're talking about, so it's Abram in this case, right? And it's Williams, right? And the problem with this is that those guys have been told, okay, right, we win the ball, we go on offense, and they're just walking up the field. If you notice Nashville, they actually are not going to stop until they have two guys flanking Latte Loth. Okay? And that's what good defending is. Look, you got to get in the position for the turnover, and that's everything you know that you cannot counter press unless you have that closed off. And so you do not stop until that is covered.
Yeah.
You're right.
So again, it's like Deila has to fix this, though, and he needs to make some tough choices quickly. Because the thing is, like we said, you don't even need to coach our front four. Just let them do whatever they want, honestly. But we have to get our back line pressing up, and Williams. We talked about Derek Williams not putting elbow grease on people.
And the point that you just made is the whole thing, right? Which is, so what's wrong with our offense and Latte Loth? That's what's wrong with our offense. Because
Got it.
if you are going to score goals, you have to be able to keep them in their end. You got to turn it over. You got to give those guys some chances on the ball continuously, right? And in this game, in the Nashville game, we scored first, and then they had everything. You would think with our midfield that we could win the midfield. They had all of the possession. They had all of the, everything was in our end, and that's why.
And so, I mean, it kind of answers it. It's why we're getting scored on, right? Why 3 goals against, but it's also why we're not scoring, because it's for us to get it to Latte Loth in a dangerous position. That's where you recycle it on their half, and if that's how we're designed to play, which I've heard Ronnie Deila say it, we're not doing it. The players are not doing it. The defensive line is not doing their job.
Yeah.
All right.
So in both of those clips, they were exactly the same way, which is the ball turned over. And then the question was, when the ball turned over, is there an outlet? So no, neither of those cases was it a set defense. It was a turnover, right? So in one case, we were going up the field and turned it over. In the other case, they were going up the field and turned it over. But the difference is they were going up the field and turned it over. And when we got the ball, we looked for the outlet. Latte Loth was marked by 2 guys flanking him. When we turned the ball over, right, our defenders were 15 yards behind their attacker, right? It's Hani Mukhtar. You know who the guy is. That's the same thing as Latte Loth. Get him flanked.
And you also, when you turn on English Premier League football, that's why this is the difference in higher quality leagues and the MLS, because you have that level of cushioning in the MLS, which stretches the field. You cannot have that in high-level soccer where you're giving, 15, 20 yards between that's just so you can have a smoke break.
Yeah, not only were they giving 15 yards, but when that clip went, they were off the picture in the beginning because the cameraman couldn't get that far. Yeah. But as soon as they went onto the screen, I don't know if you noticed, but they were both running. They were 15 yards back, and they were both running straight backwards. All
right. So we know we've got bad defenders. Like, you've never been a fan of Derek Williams. He's athletic. He does some good man stuff, but doesn't read the game well.
You want to see it?
And no, I don't.
I'm going to show you in a minute.
Nor do, we know Abram can't read the game at all, right?
At all.
We're relying on 2 center backs that clearly can't read the game and can't even do the basics of minimizing the space against the guys they're defending against. Like, you don't even have to do anything. Just, like, be there as a cone. And we can't even do that. So, Dave, my question is, okay, since we want them off the field, who's coming in to play for them?
You want to go with the lineup?
Yeah.
Let's start with you all. And then I'm going to tell you the fixed lineup. We'll just
fixed
go right to it. Because
lineup.
this is supposed to be the culmination of today's podcast is the fixed lineup. But we can go right to it.
I'll give the fixed lineup.
Yeah, go for it.
Here we go.
I am going to go with Josh Cohen in goal. I'm going to flip this whole thing on its head, dude. Like,
oh my
god, we need change.
Well, I want a little give and go. Carmen, yes or no? Josh Cohen in goal.
Yeah, something different.
Okay.
I'm going to tell you my thing, and I have it written down in case you guys want to call me on it. So,
Okay.
Okay. All right.
Left back, Amador.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Center back, Noah Cobb. And Gregerson, obviously, once he's healthy.
Yes. Mm-hmm. I agree with that.
Right back, Ronald Hernandez.
Is he healthy?
I have no idea. I just
is he ever?
Not usually.
That's a bold thing. Actually, you know what? Sorry. I'm sorry, Matt Edwards. Sorry. I'll take Matt Edwards. Sorry.
Okay, so no Lennon.
No, I just wanted no Lennon, so the first name that came to my head was Ronald Hernandez. Lennon off. Okay. Gone. Sleece in front.
Okay.
Of that 4.
Double pivot or single pivot?
I'm going to go single pivot.
Okay.
And I am going to put.
Wait, Carmen, you want double pivot or single?
I don't know. First, let me hear what he has to say about who. I want to hear who. Are you going to give the people in the middle?
Yeah, who's attacking in front of
him?
Now,
I've been down on Click.
Yes, you have.
But I don't know who is better than him.
That's the issue.
So I'm going to still stick with Click at this point.
At one of the attacking roles.
At this point in the season.
Yeah, at one of the attacking roles.
Yeah.
Yep.
Okay.
then Miranchuk,
Okay.
Almiron, Saba, and Latte Loth.
Okay. I will say, I feel like, I don't know, I can't believe I'm saying this. I feel like Fortune has been playing decently for us. I don't know if I'm wrong about that,
And
but like decently.
I would give him a shot if Click keeps some bonehead stuff that I've been seeing.
Okay.
But
All right.
that might just be because the 4 guys behind, or the 2 guys behind him, are a clown show.
That's possible. But okay. So, but besides that, I think I'm mostly with you. But like you, and I think y'all convinced me of this in your text, the Polish pivot is not as great as I thought it would be. But it might be because of who's behind them.
Yeah, that definitely hurts, but yeah.
Yeah. All right. So, Dave, what is your change on what I just said?
He did pretty well. I only have one difference.
Ooh.
Okay.
Look at us.
So I have Cohen in goal.
Aren't you impressed I went with goalie first, by the way?
I'm tired of watching Guzan be
tired
rooted
of
to
it.
the spot
Yeah.
like a tree,
Yeah.
Brad. You falling over?
And a goalkeeper changes the whole.
I'm not
vibe
sure
of the team.
that Cohen is great, but
Right.
I
Yeah.
would make a change at this
Yeah,
point.
it's about making a change.
Now has Guzan let in goals that he should have?
Yes.
A lot. I mean,
Yes.
Okay, y'all answered my question. Next.
Yeah, of course. And on
Maybe
the,
we should ask
and on the
Siri or whatever her name is.
and on the other side, like he's made some great saves.
Let's see what she says.
About what?
Does Guzan let in any goals that he should have saved?
Oh, does she know that
Yeah.
much?
Can she do that?
Okay, come on. Let's go. No, I don't want Gemini.
Hey, we're talking about Atlanta United this season, and curious about your opinion of Brad Guzan's performance. Do you think that there's been moments where he should have saved more goals against?
Brad Guzan's been a solid veteran presence for Atlanta United. But yeah, there have been a few games where you could argue he might have let in a goal he could have saved. Overall, though, he's still a very capable keeper. What are your thoughts on his performance this season?
Yeah, we think the same thing. But do you have any examples that come to
I'm
mind?
sorry, Gemini. I take it all back.
Yeah, do you have any examples of where you think he should have saved a goal, or is that just a general consensus?
It's more of a general consensus among fans
All right.
and analysts.
Boo.
Yeah.
All right. Well,
She wasn't bad.
I
though.
can give you examples if you want, Gemini. We can talk later.
Yeah.
I have them in my
You
notes.
can show her video of it and then get an opinion that way.
Okay.
We could try that.
All right.
Holy
Well, okay.
crap.
Let's keep going. All right. So I got Cohen just like you. Okay.
We don't even need you to go over the highlights. I'm going to bring in Gemini
I
full
mean,
time.
goodness
And be like,
gracious.
should Brad
I could be replaced.
save this? Yeah.
It can be replaced.
AI's coming for you, Dave.
For all of us.
No, come on. Like, AI can't diagnose the problem. If it could, then even Deila would know. Okay. All right. So left back, Amador.
Yep.
We agree.
Yep.
Center backs, we cannot have Abram.
No.
Period. Abram cannot appear on the field for Atlanta United ever again.
So why is it that Ronnie Deila can't see that?
I don't know. I mean, I presume he can't see it a little bit, but I also think that he doesn't have a ton of options. But
Noah Cobb?
Noah Cobb. So I would say Noah Cobb and Gregerson, but Gregerson's been out. So we both had Cobb and Gregerson. I agree.
Mm-hmm.
But okay, even if they're all out,
Yeah.
no Abram ever.
Yeah. And that's what I was saying. Like, if you're going to assume like Gregerson's out or whatever, then, you put in Edwards and you have to use Lennon.
I'd rather play
serviceable
5 in the
enough, but-
back, right? 5 in the back and take one of them, Gregerson or whatever, and play 2 guys next to him and play 2 flanking, whatever. I'd rather do that than play Abram. Period.
So keep going, assuming we got 4 in the back.
Okay, so I'm assuming that we have Gregerson and Cobb. If Gregerson is hurt, I would use Williams as the next guy, but I also don't think Williams is terrible, but he's certainly not good.
Yeah.
Okay, so
All right.
and I'm going to show you in a minute. Okay, even Hernandez. I said if no Williams or whatever, he's my second. Then Hernandez. I think Hernandez has not been quite as good even as Williams, but even him, no Abram. Okay,
Okay.
right back, Matt Edwards. Why? Because he defends.
Yes.
Right.
What? A defender
And
defending?
if you have this kind of attacking team, this is Lagerwey's problem. And to be honest with you, it's a world problem, not just Lagerwey's problem. Lagerwey is trying to assemble this juggernaut of attacking whatever, and it's idiotic because once you've assembled this amazing 4, Latte Loth, Al Marone, right? Saba, Miranchuk, all these creative guys, right? Mm-hmm. You don't need attacking outside backs. You need players who play defense.
Yep.
Guess that makes sense.
100% especially when you play a style where you're like, it's clear as day on the TV that all 4 of our attacking players are a front line, like pressing.
Mm-hmm. Right.
So that means you need defensive-minded people to be like,
that is correct.
I am playing defense all the time.
Balance. Okay.
Yes.
All right. So Edwards is my right back because he defends better than Lennon. I have a single defensive midfielder, no pivot. I have Sleaze. Same with you. Agreed. Now, here's where we get a little bit of difference. My attacking center midfielders, I have Al Marone and Miranchuk in front of him. And I would play Miranchuk as sort of like, I think people are talking about him a little bit as a low-lying 6. I'd play him a little bit withdrawn and play Al Marone a little bit more attacking free, whatever. Yeah. But not really a pivot. I would have Sleaze always taking the most dangerous guy, and then Miranchuk filling in a little bit as the, breaking it up.
Yep.
But those would be my attacking 2 midfielders. Okay.
All right.
Left forward, Saba.
Okay.
Striker, Latte Loth. And my difference for you is Lennon becomes the right attacking winger.
Somebody should put a straitjacket on this guy.
Because Lennon can cross the ball, he just can't defend.
Yeah.
Because I'm not criticizing his going forward. I think he's actually good going forward. He can cross the ball. He underlaps pretty well.
And I like the fact that puts Almiron a little bit more in the middle. That's
right.
He's really good at streaking through the middle.
It's obvious, people.
Yeah.
It actually isn't bad. 'Cause I was going to come after you a little bit on the Lennon decision because I was like, we were so excited about his crossing. We said we wanted out, but you still haven't now.
And he would also help to protect, coming back.
I mean,
defensively, we have trying to protect. Lennon actually, for a midfielder, can defend. Mm-hmm. He's a good defensive midfielder.
Do you know how happy that would probably make Brooks Lennon too?
Yes. He would finally be like set Brooks free.
He would be. He'd be pretty stoked about that. And Edwards would be. I mean,
Edwards. Edwards
coach
can
him up.
freaking defend.
Then you can coach him up on all the other stuff.
I want to show some examples in a minute, but we can keep talking about this. I want to show some examples.
That also solves my problem with Click right now. I'm not seeing it with Click.
Right, Click hasn't played well, but
they gave him the player of the match the other day. The one that I was losing my mind that he was the worst player on the field.
I love it when you lose your mind over
what I would say is Click actually to me looks like a really, really, really good midfielder backup. Like, in other words, when you want to rotate an Al Marone or Miranchuk, right? I think it could be good.
Yeah.
Right. I actually think Fortune, I would agree with you, Carmen, that Fortune's done some good things, but the Fortune has been mischaracterized this whole time here. Like as a defensive guy, he's really not. He's really more of an attacking guy.
Okay.
And I think as one of, an attacking guy.
Okay.
Right. So I think if you do that, now you have flexibility. Fortune can come in occasionally. Cleek can come in those attacking midfielders. Even if you have to do that, Al Marone could occasionally play wide instead of Lennon. Mm-hmm. Right. Lennon doesn't have to play every single game.
I like that.
Yeah.
I like that.
There's flexibility in that front because now...
Well, because we need to make a change, obviously.
Now you have 4 guys in the back who not only can defend, but who see it as their job to defend. Lennon has never seen it as his job to defend, right? So you have Amador, Cobb, Gregerson, and Edwards, all of who see themselves as defenders.
Yeah.
I like it.
I like it.
Okay. Well done.
Yeah.
Well done.
Obvious. All right, let's go back to I'm just going to go right because I'm taking control. Let's go back to where we were, exactly where I left it in the highlights. Can we go there? Because I want to show the rest of that clip. All right.
Make me put my glasses back on.
All right. So I just want to prove it, rub salt in the wound, right? So, we talked about the problem, right? That instead of having the 2 guys, flanking Latte Loth like Nashville did, our 2 guys, Williams and Abram, who I've just said are the problem, okay? Mm-hmm. They are the 2 center backs who are not closed and they're running backwards. So we're going to play this twice. We're going to watch Abram once and we're going to watch Williams once. Okay, so let's see. So Abram is the guy closer. We'll watch him first. Okay, so he's going to come back He's running backwards.
Yep.
Why is he running backwards, Carmen? Who is he marking?
I'm not sure. I don't know what he's doing.
I mean, it's one thing you don't want to go charging out and whatever, but
Right.
like he's 15 yards back and like trying to stay 15 yards away.
As an attacking player, this is like your dream to watch a defender running back,
Running
like that.
run away. Like, really?
Yeah.
I mean, look at this. It's like, it almost looks like, one of those ball drills the coaches do where you have to chase the guy with the ball. Right? Except for his job is not to be running away. His job is to win the ball.
Yeah.
All right, let's keep going. Right, so we played a little bit. I'm going to stop it again. Okay, so they played over it. You might say, look, he did his job. He delayed, and they caught him. Now, to be fair, he did no such thing. He did not delay at all. They just happened to catch him coming back, right? But anyway, we forced Nash. It was a great recovery from our center midfield, right? Yep. And they forced, I think it's Sleaze who forces him to play here, okay? So now you got Abram, and Amador's out of this play, right? So it's Abram here, right? There's nobody to help him. Okay, so let's see what happens here. They're going to play it out wide. Okay, here comes Abram.
You know what he's going to do next? I guarantee you he's going to put his hands behind his back.
Damn it, Mikey Dobbs.
I guarantee you he
Did
is.
you predict what you were going to say?
I have never
We're going to get there.
We didn't watch this. All that guy does is put his hands behind his back. That's all that's the only defending that guy does. I am not going to give up a penalty.
There's no way he's going to get
insane,
a handball.
All
right, let's go. Okay, we play here. Okay, so he hasn't put his hands behind the back yet. He's come to take a good angle.
He started to before then he stretched his leg.
Okay.
He started to.
So he runs by him. He doesn't take the worst angle, but it's not even a great angle. He kind of runs by him. So he's going to cut it back, Carmen. Watch what he does now in the reaction to it. Okay, ready?
Oh, yeah, I'm ready.
He just ran right by him. He did nothing. Absolutely nothing. He put his hands behind his back and he ran by him.
Yeah, but watch. I'll tell you why, though. It's because he was putting his hands behind his back before
Mikey Dobbs.
No, I'm telling you.
He couldn't get the cutback because his hands were behind his back.
Before he started to stretch his leg, he actually started to do this, and then he released. Watch him. It's a subtle thing, and then he goes, whoop.
Because he couldn't cut back. He definitely didn't.
All right. Now, we're going to play this again. Okay. So this is Williams.
All right.
Okay, on this one, we have a worse clip for Abram in a minute coming, so don't worry. But this actually, I think, Abram here, even though he took a terrible angle and he ran right by him, that wasn't the worst. I want you to watch Williams in all his glory. This is the definition of defensive instincts, right? Okay. He reads it the whole way, and he really goes and cuts everything down. Ready?
Oh, dear.
So watch him. He's running. He's running. He's running. He's running. He's running. He's running. He just ran in a straight line.
He didn't even peek behind.
He was like,
nothing.
Well, he saw the guy behind him and he was acting like he was the more dangerous threat.
Oh, he did peek. I missed it.
But which obviously he wasn't. It was right in front of him.
Okay. I mean, watch this. He's running. He runs in a straight line. Nobody ever comes into his zone. Is there anybody close to where he is, Carmen?
No.
And is there a guy wide open in this middle?
Yeah.
Yes. How?
Because he's like,
how?
He's like, all those other guys running back are going to take care of that for me.
What?
It's not in his, what do you call it? The little hockey thing you always talk about?
Bubble hockey. Yeah, he's not allowed to leave his lane.
Hockey.
I think that's exactly right. He's like, I'm the right center back. Heaven forbid I come to the middle. Like the middle of the park. I mean, how is that defending? And he literally, as the play goes on, he cuts it back. He tries to play here, right? That guy ends up shooting, right? Mm-hmm. And where is Williams going? I mean, where is he going? I mean,
he's heating up.
Where is he going, Mikey Dobbs?
Hopefully to the bench.
You know how like in Little League, like when you're playing in Pee Wee soccer and the coaches got to like stop you because they're like chasing after the ball, whatever. Uh-huh. Like, stay in your position. Like he got that message and he never let it go.
I will not chase after the ball.
I mean, that's some of the worst. He started out, he never closed anything down. The moment they started to play the ball, he turned and ran away. And then he just ran straight. He finishes in our goal. Look at this. Look at that.
He just ran straight into our goal.
He just ran straight into our goal.
Oh, goodness.
I mean,
honestly, Abram, if he could stay as far away from people as possible, like that's what he would do too.
I mean, good God.
Oh, man.
Okay.
That's why I like me a little bit of Gregerson, because at least the guy will get a.
All right, and we're gonna do this just because Mikey and I was actually I slightly apologize because that was one highlight away from when Abram really puts his hand behind his back.
That's all he does. I mean,
I'm going to show you
every highlight. I mean, it really is. I mean, it's not even funny.
Okay, so here Amador is pinched in. I want you to know I don't know why. He's pinched in too far. And he now is going to try to ask Mascara to actually cover in behind him. I don't know why. Why do we want Mascara covering in behind Amador? Does anybody want that?
No.
Nobody wants that.
Nobody wants that, right? So Mascara takes an awful angle and he gets beat easily. Amador is forced to address this because he's like, oh, dude, he's getting beat again. He does read it. And then I want you to watch Glorious Abram. Okay, because Abram's going to come into this play. Okay, let's play the clip. Okay, so they switched the ball. We're all completely marked here, right? I mean, it's like a static situation, right? Everybody's exactly where they should be. Now, why Amador is here, pinched in, and here? Maybe because he's like, well, Abram won't come do it. But anyway, I would have liked to seen him out here. So when they play here, he's boom out here. But as you see, when he plays out here, we're going to ask Mascara to come out here and mark. I don't know why. He does a terrible thing. Watch this. Whoa,
oh my gosh.
He takes a terrible angle. Okay, now Amador is going to come and address this because he's like, well, I got to do this. Now, Carmen. Where's Abram?
He should be reading the danger that's going to be the cutback in a second.
Exactly. Or at least closer. He has to. Yeah. Go ahead.
He is standing in the center of the goal
with no one.
With around. Nobody. So if I were him, I would have been out here.
Yeah, exactly.
Right.
Have some instincts. Okay. So watch this. So if he were there.
Did you think he was going to cut that back? I mean, how would you have thought that?
It's almost like you said that like 15 seconds ago.
Oh my gosh.
Mikey Dobbs, right? So when they cut the ball back finally, and it wasn't Amador's fault.
He's backed up even further.
He is actually standing in the 6-yard box, and the only thing he's doing is actually blocking Guzan's view.
And he was further back. He had to come up to get to that point.
Yes.
So,
yes.
Yeah, it's ridiculous.
And now, Mikey Dobbs, say it with me. What's he going to do?
He's already got his hands behind his back.
Well, they're going behind his back. Yeah. I mercifully paused it. Oh, there it is.
Be a cone and a cone for Brad Guzan. Perfect. That way you can line up on how I curl the ball around your shoulder.
Now, I want you to see, so Sleaze, I don't know, Sleaze, Marinchuk, whatever it is, this person is actually alert to all the danger, is thinking, okay, if they come across, maybe I can get a tackle in, but is also aware of this player, right?
Yeah.
This is not defending.
Oh, he gave up a long time ago.
Mascara. Now, to be fair to Mascara, that's not his thing.
Yeah, well.
That's to be fair to him. That's not your thing, dude. You don't have to worry about it.
To be fair, I'd show him that clip and be like, look, I just put you on late in the game. If I ever see you walk after you get beat, you're never playing for my team again.
Fair. I think that would be fair.
That's the message I would give on
All right, so let's see. With his hand behind his back, does he stop the shot? Oh, he goes right through his legs. And poor Guzan has to try to see it unsighted because it goes right through Abram's legs. And you might say, a person might say, okay, that was really unlucky. He went through his legs. Bullshit. That is not unlucky. That's terrible instincts, not being over there in time. And that's why it goes through your legs.
Yeah, well.
So we just showed the instincts of our two center backs who I want off the field, Williams and Abram. Having seen that, Carmen, do you want them playing center back for us anymore?
No, never, not ever.
Yeah. All right.
That's my case.
Well, we knew that at the beginning of the year.
I
so
said
it's
I
not
was
like
going to
this is a
prove it
news-
to you.
There's nothing to prove, though.
I like it. The scientist is like,
Yeah,
I will
scientist-
show you all the
I should-
data. What Mikey Dobbs is just going to scream at the screen.
Yeah.
I don't need data. I know you suck.
No, I'm going to be a lawyer. I rest my case.
So, you were at the Nashville game, right?
Yes.
What was your take on that game?
I mean, it was okay. Like, we were actually in ascendancy, for a while. We deserved a goal. We scored a good goal. And one thing I will say is I have said continuously, what's the difference between the Ronnie Deila era and the Pineda era?
We got people in the box.
That's it. Right? So we have people in the box. And I don't know if you want to show the clip of the goal, but you can, Carmen, if you want. You can show the clip of the goal. Because I want you to see, how many people we have in the box and the reason why we score, how deep they are in the box. Like, look where Al Marone is. It's all the way in the first half when we score. That's a little bit forward. But I want you to notice how many people are in the box when we score.
Around there.
Maybe. Let's play it.
Let's see what happens.
Give it a go.
I'll take control.
We'll give it a roll. We're still in Nashville, right?
Still Nashville.
All right. It's around here somewhere.
Yeah, that was the goal. So let's go back for a second to see it the three different angles.
But I don't know. I turned it on shortly after this goal.
Well, let's see within a replay. Maybe I don't know which angle shows the best, but you can see there were three players inside the 6-yard box. Wait till they go back to the replay of it. Oh, they didn't go back to a replay. Oh, they're shortchanging us. Okay, we got to go back to the original one. Okay. So this is it. So we get a cross. They poke it out. It goes to Brooks Lennon, right? But what I want you to notice, so first of all, we have 1, 2, 3, 4,
Almost
5. Is this another player? See, no, that's a shadow, I think.
No, I think that's
Oh, that
down.
is
He's
6.
Almost 6 in the box.
We have 6 in the box, and we have 3 inside the 6-yard box.
Yeah.
And that's the difference between the Ronnie Deila era and the Pineda era. So when Lennon, who I believe was shooting, plays it back across, good job, Lennon. Al Marone reacts really well and just pokes it in.
Yeah.
But that's the difference. And that's why we should score goals. If we can turn the ball up the field because we skid our defense right, then those guys are getting in the box
You
and we'll
said this
score.
game was okay, and this game was not okay.
So,
All right.
Yes, we're just going to go
'Cause
back.
I turned it on around this time.
Carmen has some
the
stuff
mic.
to say.
Yeah. So one of my favorite things about knowing you guys are the texts y'all send
Yeah.
during the game. And I would like to read Mikey Dobbs' text during
Gosh.
Nashville.
No.
All right. I don't even know where we were in the game at this point, but it was, okay, Mikey Dobbs. We are going to lose again. It is not happening. Full rebuild needed. Fire everyone. Delia out. Drop every player too. Latte out. Almarone too. Gone. Nobody gets paid. Seriously, this is terrible soccer. Awful. Cancel 2025.
Yeah, that's how I feel right now.
And
I still feel
yeah,
that way.
Yeah. And you even talked about how you canceled the Falcons after the Super Bowl and never looked back.
I've never been happier.
And I think the thing that made me crack up was like going to burn everything.
Going to burn everything. Yeah.
I love it.
All this Atlanta United stuff. How much money?
That's the unfiltered ATL on fire
That
right
was
there.
it. That was the ones you could probably read. So, yeah, I just feel punished for having done this podcast.
But okay, I just putting it out there.
Why? This is a lot of time and energy.
It is.
For the product and the experience that we're getting. For the last, since 7 years, like the first year we did the podcast was kind of fun. Like we got a trophy and, we were naive, and then Frank DeBoer left. And
But
then,
you know what's the difference between you and me? The reason why I'm still in it?
go ahead, tell me.
Because I actually enjoy saying, this is what you're effing doing wrong. Like I can see it, and that actually brings me some pleasure. Whereas Mikey Dobbs, I think you get it too. You see things too, or whatever, but you're just like, I can't.
No, I don't, like when I'm watching the game, Dave, I don't see it.
Oh.
I just see I'm just furious. I can diagnose afterwards and be rational after the fact, but like, in the moment, I just want to be a fan.
That's fair, don't we all?
Yeah.
Like, don't you want to just like sit down and have your wine or your beer or go to the stadium?
I just want to be a fan.
Just enjoy.
Like even when I come prepared to the podcast in the past, like I'll like take notes. Like I can analyze the game, but that kind of sucks the joy out of it just to watch the game. So I don't know how you do that and enjoy the game. I just want to like see him score and high five people.
Me too.
And just
to be fair, me too.
You know, like it's all I want again.
I could give up the analyzing, if we just score all the time. What about you, Carmen?
How do I feel? Where am I? I think I'm
Where are you in the worry meter?
Oh, worry meter. Jeez. You know what? I feel better after talking today because I feel like if we get Gregerson back, get Abram off the field, I think we go on the upswing. I think it's just that I think if we make changes to the center back position, we have hope to like really turn it around, get our press going again, and be on the upswing. And then with the the excuse that Mikey Dobbs hate that everybody gets into the playoffs and we can see what happens. But I think, but the thing is, we can get better, and that's the thing.
Yeah,
just a couple changes here and there.
Yeah. I mean,
we're not that far.
But worry meter is still high.
We're very far because everything that you said is just theoretical.
That's true because they won't call me.
Right.
But they might be listening.
They might be listening, but that's the thing. I don't think they're listening, and I don't think they're calling.
They are listening a little bit.
And I don't think Ronnie Deila is going to make the drastic changes that we talked about that need to happen at this critical point in the season to Mascara. Look, if you ever walk again after game, be like, I know he's that type of coach, but we got to like bring the film and bring some accountability to our two center backs there, leaving that space. Like, bring in the kids. I don't care. Like you're not playing Abram, you're not playing Williams if you don't get up.
Well, the thing about it is, and I wanted to talk about this, right? Because I think that I worry a little bit about Deila because he's flailing a little bit. So when you're a coach and it's not going well, right? What you have to be able to do is you have to be able to diagnose the problem. You cannot throw the baby out with the bathwater, right? So if you just say, I am pissed off with the team, and until you start playing better, I'm going to make changes. Right. You take away one problem, but you also take away one of the good things at the same time, and then it just cancels out.
Right.
Right? You have to be able to surgically take away whatever's bad and leave what's good.
Right. So, like, a lot of people would claim, like, oh, Miranchuk's not playing well. Like, did you see him give up the ball?
Right.
Whatever. Like, if you know, he's a class player, right?
Yep.
So, he's not really the problem, but
he has not been good in the solution, but yes, he's not the problem.
Good in the solution, but he's not the problem, right?
I agree.
So, to your point, you have to diagnose the problem and make one surgical cut, one game, and then maybe the second game to move it the right direction.
Right. So, for example, in the Nashville game, right, he went to Click and Miranchuk as the double pivot. Like, I think thinking, okay, we'll get the smarts and the whatever, blah, he put Sleaze on the bench. And I think that is an overcorrection. He's like seeing us getting killed in the midfield, and he's like, okay, I'm going to try something else in the midfield. And the problem is the midfield. But the problem is not the midfielders. The problem in losing the midfield is because they're getting killed. Right, you saw it with they're
Amador. They're running backwards, right?
Yeah.
From center backs, they're running backwards from them. You're like, wait, we've got 30 yards.
They caught him from behind.
You guys just are running back into the goal while you're expecting me to try to catch up with this guy?
Yeah.
Right.
That's what's happening.
That's right.
Yeah.
Okay. And that's the problem. And so you have to be able to surgically dissect.
Yeah. I don't enjoy this, though. If you going back to, I don't.
I can't tell. I couldn't tell there, Mikey.
You're drinking delicious wine.
I do like that part. That's the ember in the fire.
Yeah.
Keep it going.
It's got great people.
If you keep, we have good
wine.
Keep bringing good wine. Maybe we'll keep doing it.
There you go.
Bribes.
All right. So worry meter.
Yeah, worry meter.
Where? Well, me,
He's
probably
at 11.
I about to say, I think he was like, screw the worry meter.
He's
over it.
DEFCON 6 worry meter.
And that was the game before the Nashville game. I think you said it. I'm probably like at an 8. I'm an 8. Yeah.
Yeah, and mine keeps creeping up, but I'm only at like I'm a legit 6, 5, 6.
Yeah.
It's going up.
All right.
I'm past the halfway mark.
Yeah. Okay. And
And I said what I said
and that's
is
probably the balanced answer, right? I think that's right.
Balance, boo.
Based on our conversation, it's salvageable. But I think in reality, it is 11 because I don't think all those things are going to be fixed.
well, I said that I would give him till halfway through the season before I really started judging, because I think you got to give any coach halfway through the season. So if we get past the halfway and we start to go into the second half, which we're not yet there, and we still don't see any sign of it, picking up or any sign of him correcting the problems we just talked about, then the worry meter's going to go.
Yep.
Okay.
That's fair. All right. So we're on the road against Philadelphia tomorrow.
Oh, is that
No,
right?
not
I
Philadelphia.
think Philadelphia is like
We
Saturday,
played Philadelphia
next Saturday.
already.
You sure?
Is that true?
Isn't
I
that the
don't
game
know.
I'm going to, Philadelphia? What we got?
What we got? Help us, Carmen.
Matches. Oop, what do we have?
It's not up. Philadelphia is the next one. You're right. It's Chicago.
Chicago. Okay. Oh, yeah. Philadelphia's-
Oh.
So we got a game on the 14th. No, it's Austin and then Philadelphia.
Oh yeah, Austin first. No.
No. Chicago- yeah, Chicago, Austin,
Chicago, Austin,
Yeah.
Philadelphia.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
I was saying it's so.
Chicago's the next one tomorrow, 2:30.
Yep, so 2 away, and then Philadelphia at home.
Right, we're away in midweek, so you got back-to-back games away to solve the problems. Chicago and Austin. Now let's look at the table, Carmen. How's Chicago and Austin doing?
You probably already know off the top of your head. Oh, gosh.
I mean, you never know exactly, but yeah, sure.
Am I doing this right? What's happening? Oh,
Yeah,
there
you're
we
there.
go.
You're getting there.
There it is. Oh, it's right there on the side, isn't it?
Oh, and I'm killing you because you're
Wait.
sorry,
Oh, no,
Carmen.
I'm good. What do we have?
Bring the mouse back.
Bringing the mouse back. All right, so Chicago 11th, and we're 13th. Who else we got? Philadelphia. Oh, no, who's next?
Yeah,
Austin.
Austin's not
Austin's
looking
in the-
great.
They're West, right?
The other conference. Yeah.
Other conference.
So wait, first of all, Chicago is what?
11,
And we're
13.
so they're terrible too.
Yeah.
Shocking, Berhalter hasn't fixed the problem. Okay.
But let's see.
You know, Berhalter never did well in MLS before they made him national team
Austin's
either.
sixth, okay.
Austin's 6th. So they're mediocre.
Who's their coach with Wolf gone?
They still got Wolf. Thought.
He's gone. Yeah.
Gone?
Yeah.
They sacked him?
Is he
He's sacked.
really?
Yeah. I don't know who the coach is
I
there.
missed that.
Let's see.
Yeah, he got
Did
sacked.
They just list it? Or do we have to do it? Coach. Oh.
Yeah. Do coach.
Wasn't aware of that.
Yeah.
Missed that one.
Yeah. He's gone.
What we got? Off.
And now it says Nico Estevez.
Yeah.
What the heck is Nico Estevez?
Don't know.
From where? Keep
Oh,
scrolling down a
all
little
right.
bit. MLS, La Liga, and international coaching. Oh, is it assistant coach?
Is what I'm talking.
Carmen, you look that up. We'll keep talking.
Y'all keep talking.
Yeah. I am almost like 100% sure Josh got sacked.
Yeah, that's what they said. They announced a new
Yeah.
head coach, Nico Estevez.
Oh, okay. I thought you were saying he was the assistant. Okay. Yeah.
44 from Spain.
Not men's national team. He was a men's national team assistant.
Okay,
Good choice, Austin.
I mean, they're 6 though.
Well,
All right. Well, what do you think against Chicago? What's your prediction? Carmen, you want to go first?
Chicago. What did I say? They're just above us. We're at Chicago. Is anybody that was injured, not injured? Let's go. I'm going to say we win.
whoa.
2-1.
Dobbs. 6-0 against.
I think
Come on.
we lose 2-1.
Okay. And I have us drawing at
Okay.
1-1 or 2-2. Something like that.
That's just so sad, man.
It is sad.
And how are you thinking we're turning the season around then?
Because it's going to turn slow. It's like a cruise ship. It turns slowly, make it out.
You got to win. You have to win. You have to win to turn something. A draw is not anything.
No, because we lost 3-0 and 3-0. So the draw that we got at Nashville
A draw
was
and a draw. Like
better.
we're not even. We're still.
Well, if you go 3 games without
We're still-
losing, that's better than losing consecutive games by 6 goals.
See, this is why I just disagree, man. This
Got
is
it?
not happening.
turn the.
I will say I was at an event. What was that for the Decatur World Cup thing?
Oh, you went to
thing?
that?
I was there. Yes, I'm on the committee.
Oh,
Um,
Carmen, do tell.
I know, but anyway,
us. No, tell us. The
Jason
details.
Longshore was there.
Okay.
And I was like listening in because somebody was like, the season. And he was like, yeah, I know. And I was like, oh, he's going to go in and I'm going to like listen and report it. He was basically like Cats. He was like, they just need some more time and they can, I think they're going to change it around.
I
and
think
it'll
he's
be better.
always like that.
I
though.
think he is. Yes.
And I think that's not me.
No. Okay. That's true. You were not always like that.
I turned on Pineda.
You turned.
Because I gave him the chance, and then I was like, no.
You were a year behind me, though.
I was a little bit
You were a
delayed.
year
Mikey
behind me.
Mikey Dobbs is always a little bit more on the front foot.
And when it comes to turning on people, yes.
Yeah.
And that might be better in certain cases and worse in others.
In real life, I've got a lot of cushion.
Really?
That's not true at all, is it?
Damn it.
I was like,
Okay,
I don't know what the real world is.
Let's
but
talk
we'll
about
go with
Mikey
that.
Dobbs' cushion, right?
Yeah.
That's the next thing to talk about because I think you're about to lose another
I know.
bet to me.
I know.
Because Man
Forrest-
City has now
yeah.
passed Forest.
Yeah.
You said it would never happen.
Forrest tied over the week. That was it.
That
That
was
was kind of
Crystal
the dagger.
Pal.
They should have
Yeah,
won
they
that
need to
game.
win
They were
that
better. If they had gotten the 3 points there, I'd still be in the conversation. But yeah, it's not looking good,
Not
Dave.
looking good.
3 points down with 3 games to play.
Yeah.
Well,
I mean, the good
par for
news
the
is
course.
City could fall apart because they're that bad sometimes too. So, and they're not well coached. So, did I say that?
Yes, you did. You did say that. Okay, let's pivot also. Let's talk about, because honestly, in the world of football, and talk about entertaining soccer and talk about the fact that, what we're talking about right here and about how nobody actually realizes that you need balance and have a team. I mean, how many times now have we seen in European football, right, these freaking nuts 7-6, first of all, Man United, Lyon. Let's talk about Barcelona and Inter.
It's like 3-3 and then 4-3.
that was
Yeah.
amazing.
Yeah, none of those guys are playing defense either.
Yeah.
If you watch Barcelona in the box, they look like Williams and Abram.
Yeah.
They're freaking clueless too. I mean, that now they have Yamal going forward and they score some beautiful goals.
Yeah.
But boy, oh boy, can they not
so-
defend either.
So why? So hold on though.
Yeah.
I'm going to use that as an example.
Yeah.
Because that's our excuse on why we can't score goals.
Yeah.
So why aren't we scoring goals then?
Well, because they actually do get up the field and they possess the ball more up the field. It's only in the box they don't know how to mark anybody.
Okay. So it's
Different.
So
Got it.
more in a compressed.
Yeah. They still have some of the flaws that we have, but only on the very back end. And they don't put their arms behind the back, so it's not quite as bad.
True that. It's just the arms behind the back thing is making my head spin.
It's so frustrating.
Like, why would you do that? It doesn't make any sense. Like,
Because he's never given up a penalty kick.
take the penalty kick. I mean,
He's never going to stop anybody. I wanted to show. I mean, I don't know. We won't go back in.
Is the handball rule different in MLS where it's not a natural position?
No.
Because
not technically, but everything's different in the MLS because it's the MLS.
okay, true.
We won't go back and show it in the highlights.
No,
but,
we won't.
But what I want to say is that there was a play when Edwards came back on at left back, right back, late in the game, and they were going at him when he was at right back, and they cut it back. And if you watch him, first of all, he was not fooled by the cutback. And second of all, because he's super, athletic and whatever, his reaction back to the ball, it was on the highlight clip and I can show you, but he forced the guy to take a weak shot from outside the box that they put in the highlight clip. I don't know why, because it just dribbled to Guzan. But oh my God, is that better defending? He was not fooled by the cutback. And he had the quickness to actually, the guy was going at him, cut it back, and he didn't fall for it, and he stepped back up, and he was right on him.
Yeah.
okay.
Yeah.
So it defended.
Actual defending.
Okay.
So back to European soccer. Let's talk
Yeah,
about something.
let's talk about the epic.
Well, well, there's a lot of epic stuff.
Yeah,
A
that's
lot
what I'm
going
saying.
on.
The two worst EPL teams are up for grabs
In
for the
history.
Champions League slots.
Okay.
Right?
Crazy.
All right, let's make sure that everybody knows. So we're talking about the Europa League,
Crazy.
right? So Tottenham and Man United got through. That is definitely courtesy of the fact that there's no more parachute from the Champions League, so there are no good teams in the Europa League. But it also shows the strength and depth of the Premier League, and it also shows how cynical the coaches are, because as soon as they got to midseason and weren't going to challenge for it, they realized the only way to go through Europe is to go through the Europa League, get into Champions League, so they all prioritize that. Neither of the teams have been playing their best players on the weekend. They're losing, they're slipping down the table, and one of them is going to be the worst team in history to win a European competition.
Yeah.
Statistically.
So for the listeners out there that may not know all these leagues, right? So in Europe, there's, the English Premier League, there's the Belgian League, there's Bundesliga, there's Serie A, there's the French
Eredivisie,
there's
the Farm League.
Yeah, the Farm League.
I'm kidding.
The Portuguese League, et cetera, right? Now, they've got the Champions League, right, which is the best of the best from those leagues that play for the...
Only if you think about the best teams.
Yeah. So the best teams in Europe play in the Champions League, right, which are the top 4 teams every year.
I'm giving you a hard time.
In their respective league, get promoted to or get a chance to play in the...
But there's now a coefficient.
So explain to the listeners what the Europa League is.
Well, first of all, there's a coefficient. So...
Coefficient.
Now the top,
the actual word?
the top 2 leagues by coefficient, meaning how their teams did in all the European competitions the year before, the 3 different European competitions, they get a coefficient, and then they get an extra slot in the Champions League based on the coefficient. So the Premier League has 5 because they got the extra coefficient.
Explain to the listeners what the word coefficient means.
I thought it was a math term, but
It is a math term.
Oh, it is. Okay.
Yeah,
it
is.
Yes, it's multiplying by a number, and the number is based on the success of all of their teams in Europe.
Yeah. Okay. So if you're a better league, you get more entry slots. Is that the
2 leagues get 1 more addition?
Got it.
It's basically...
So who are the 2 leagues
It's
right
always
now?
Spain, Germany, and England.
Okay.
That are fighting
Occasionally Italy.
that are fighting for the coefficient extra spot.
But England got one. And,
so 4 or 5 of the top finishers in each league, depending on the coefficient.
That's right.
2, enter the Champions League. Now there's the 5th slot?
Yep.
Or 6th slot in the EPL, for example.
Yeah, now it gets the Europa League.
Other teams fight for the Europa League tournament, which is a whole separate tournament that happens in parallel to the Champions League, which then would get you into the Champions League the next year.
And it used to be that there was the parachute. So the Champions League starts out with groups of 4, and it used to be top 2 go on, 3rd place team parachutes into the Europa League, and 4th place team goes home. But they got rid of the parachute this year, so there was no Champions League teams that dropped into Europa League, which is why Tottenham and Man United were still the best teams in the Europa League, despite them being terrible.
Yeah.
Got it. Okay. Okay.
So that's why they succeeded and went in, and they both won their Europa League, which is the 2nd European team that was there. They both won in their semifinals. It was 7-1 and 5-1, I think. It was blowouts.
Dominant, yeah.
What's happening in the Club World Cup?
Well, hold on.
Are you going to... And I'm just jumping all over the map.
Yeah, you're
here.
jumping off. You're going to confuse you. We got to keep going.
All right, keep going.
All right. We got to keep going.
Where we keep going into?
Well, so Man United.
We're staying in Europe.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So Man United, I mean...
He just won.
You know that... You know the kid at school...
Where's this going?
Who gets the poor grade... and then gets another poor grade, and then talks to the teacher, and goes to office hours, and then they say, well, you're improving, and then you're doing really well. And even though their grades are like a C or B, by the end of the semester, the teacher's like, well, based on your track record, you are now an A because of how much you've succeeded and increased, whatever. It's the back door, right?
Okay.
Man United. This is like the ultimate, okay? So the only reason that they are in the Europa League, do you know why they're in the Europa League? Did they finish 6th or 7th in the league? No.
Not at all.
The reason why they're in the Europa League is they got the backdoor into the Europa League by winning the FA Cup final.
I forgot about
So
that.
they're doing the ultimate
And
backdoor.
now, because they're in the Europa League, they win the Europa League, they're backdoored into the Champions League. They're going to be the first team to get in the Champions League by doing nothing.
But the awesome part is they're going to beat the Spurs doing it.
That's
Oh,
true.
that would be lovely.
It'll be so Spursy.
Yeah. I mean, they're a disaster.
Oh,
that
God.
team. I feel like, there's some positivity actually in the players watching Man United. Like, I feel like they actually are trying. Like, there's a good team chemistry, which is weird to say. I
watching
do.
the same games I'm watching.
I am. I'm watching. I don't care about that team, but I do feel.
Clearly.
Like in the non-Europa League games, you feel that
They're
as well?
still terrible.
They're terrible.
Yeah, they're.
Did we lose to other?
We've lost it. We haven't won a English Premier
I'm not
game
saying they're not terrible.
in
Okay.
2 months.
Yeah.
I'm saying
like
that
7
I'm
straight
saying that the I'm saying that the players are trying.
Okay.
Okay.
I'll take that. It seems like they care. It does seem like
That's
they
what I'm saying.
care.
Yeah.
No, they're like,
I'll do
dude,
that.
we can just go drink at the pub, and only thing that
Which
matters
player
is,
do you think is
the
getting
Europa League.
hammered for Man U?
They all are, because
Yeah.
look at the team.
Garnacho is just like
No, I don't know. I'm just making that up. But anyway, we backdoored the back door, which is very impressive.
it is impressive.
That is pretty
All
good.
Yeah, so that's awesome. But then we also need to talk about
Well, I don't want to confuse the listeners. And by the way, this is an Atlanta United podcast. So if any Atlanta United fans have made it this far to talk about European soccer, you're our people.
well, we're switching back to Atlanta.
And comment, by the way, like if you want this podcast to continue, it means
He is trying to shut us down like he does this.
I'm trying to shut this thing down. And your comments that
No.
prove that you've listened this
No.
long
Say you love us and you want us to stay around.
Stay
I'm telling you.
forever.
might help keep the fire.
Okay, now what I want to say is we're bringing back to Atlanta United because Man United was playing Lyon in that epic game. Did you see the game? And
I
our
did.
buddy Almada
It's a
was playing for Lyon.
It was one of the. It was.
was.
You saw me commenting
Yeah,
on it. It was one of the
yeah.
craziest soccer games I've ever
Yeah.
seen.
Do tell. Can you tell us?
In the last, I want to say, extra time period, there were 4 goals.
Yeah. So what
was
I want to
just-
say is just like Atlanta United.
Uh-oh.
Okay, right? There was a man advantage.
Lyon was winning by 2 goals.
Yes.
It was like 4-2.
So
That was even after.
Man United had a man advantage.
Yep.
And just like Atlanta United conceded
Yeah.
twice with the man advantage.
It was ridiculous.
And
So
then-
they were down 2 goals in extra time,
yeah,
and they scored
3 goals.
3 goals in the
Three.
last, what was it, like
Ended up
3
being-
minutes?
Ended
It
up
was
being
something like
ended
5
up being
minutes?
5 for within like 5-6 minutes.
Yeah. It was
And-
amazing.
When you let Harry Maguire got
Harry Maguire.
the walk-off header.
Harry Maguire.
Yeah.
I went nuts.
All right. And then Man United waltzed into
That was one of the most fun soccer games I've watched. in a
That
long
was
time.
a lot
and
of
maybe
fun.
only
Carmen, thank you for cluing me into that in the middle of the day. It worked out. I had it on the other screen. It was great.
maybe possibly only eclipsed by Barcelona,
Such a
Inter
great
Milan.
game.
Did
So
you see that one?
I did not. I saw like at the very end it was 3-3 in the first leg. And then evidently the second leg was even crazier. It was 4-3. So there was like 13 goals in the
Yeah.
I mean,
so
it
they
was-
sold. Did they sell Onana to Man United? Anyway,
Inter
but-
Milan?
yeah.
think so.
Anyway, they bought a goalkeeper for $5 million,
Oh my gosh, he's so good.
and he was standing on his head
That was ridiculous.
because
It
Barcelona
was
kept coming back.
ridiculous the saves this kid was. I mean, not
He,
kid. he's
he
grown
made a
man,
couple of the
but-
greatest saves you'll ever
Oh,
see to keep them in it.
It was ridiculous.
And then
ridiculous.
the 37-year-old defender who was apparently 3 years ago was like homeless.
yeah.
Oh, I
Who's
thought
now playing for Inter Milan, and he comes waltzing forward. He's never scored a goal in his professional life. And in the last minute, he gets the ball, and he puts a perfect ball, upper 90. He ends up in the 6-yard box, and he scores upper 90 to win.
Could not believe it.
And he rips off his shirt,
As well.
And he takes the yellow card, and he doesn't give a damn.
And he shouldn't have.
Mikey Dawes reminded me of you.
I don't take a yellow card for nonsense like that. It's got to be more principled. It's got to be more principled things. Not just taking off your shirt.
couldn't help
No one
it.
wants to see me with a shirt off.
He
He
couldn't
had
help
never
it.
scored in like European professional football and just tied that game up. And everyone knew they were about to lose. Oh, it was such a great
But back
game.
to the Lyon game, Thiago Almada,
Yeah.
Yeah.
up until the latter part of that game,
Yeah.
was the best player in the field.
Yeah.
Yes, he was.
He was the best player in the field
Pineda.
for like 80 minutes of that
Excuse
regular,
me.
He was.
regular, you know, he
I might have had
started
some Pineda in
he
the
started
dish.
to make some mistakes later on in the game, but he was the class of the field.
Yeah.
And,
Yeah.
and it's like, how is it that we had that guy
We had him.
and we still couldn't, you know?
Yeah.
Well, I
I
know
mean,
how it is.
he obviously saved
I got
us.
3 words for you. Pineda.
Yeah, that's right.
Maybe it's only 1 word. All right. And then Man United waltzes into Bilbao, who are excited because they were going to get to host the Europa League final at home. Haven't been to a European final maybe ever, or certainly in like 40 years. And they get a red card. Oh. And Man United wins 3-0 on the road, Mikey
Never
Dawes.
happens.
3-0 on the road.
Yeah.
And then they come home. They give up the first goal,
No.
3-1. Then they equalize 3-1,
Like
1-1,
4-1.
and then they
Yeah.
eventually won 4-1. They just floodgates.
Yeah. Even though I thought they were going to pull a Man United and somehow blow that, but
No, can't
It was
blow it.
nice.
It's impossible. Possible.
Can you
It's
believe?
never happened, so it's impossible.
Can you believe the
In
world?
the history of Europe, no team has ever had a 3-0 lead in any semifinal, any European competition on the road and given it up
it's
ever.
still Man United.
The only hope for this podcast, by the way, also
Yeah?
is the World Cup is 1 year away.
All right. All right. So let's
So
now
even
we've
if Atlanta
talked
United
Europe.
keeps falling, we can talk about World Cup soccer.
Okay,
And
well,
just
first of all-
change the podcast to ATL World Cup soccer.
First of all,
On
let's
fire.
go on the record saying, all right, you got Champions League, you got Paris Saint-Germain,
Yep.
and Inter Milan. Who you got? Who you got winning the Champions League final? Paris Saint-Germain or Inter Milan?
Inter Milan.
Inter.
Carmen?
I got Inter.
You guys are crazy. Paris Saint-Germain. Okay, and then second, Tottenham versus Man United in the Europa
Man
final.
United.
Man United.
Man United. Because Tottenham will find a way to be Spursy. It'll be great. All right.
Why do you
and
think PSG is the obvious?
better team? And then second of all,
The Farm League team? Good.
yeah, they're like the Paris of the Farm League. Anyway, all right. Now we can talk about the Club World
This
Cup.
feels like a bet.
Oh, yes. Do it.
You can take it.
Double
but
or nothing.
how
Double or
many
nothing on the
bets have you
Nottingham.
lost?
I always love a bad bet.
Yes, you do.
I do. All right.
Now, Inter Milan has heart,
They do.
and you really can't. You can't downplay that. They have a fighter's chance because they got heart.
That's why they're going
But
to
they're not the better
There's
team.
nothing on the line, but other than a bet that I'm saying you're going to be wrong.
All right.
All right.
Okay.
Because
So
I
now
already got too much wine on the line.
he's already lost. He's like on a case and a half. No. You are going to get me the wine for Man City over Nottingham Forest because we've been talking about it all season.
Yep.
You want to talk about Club World Cup? That's what you're bringing
Well,
up.
no,
I interrupted you.
Yeah, well, we got through the European situation, but the Club World Cup, why does no one care? That's going to be my question.
Because it's the FIFA Club World Cup and it's stupid.
Okay. And that's kind of what I'm getting to. But if
Okay, let's just finish it there.
no, you could finish it there, but if you could say, should you have a tournament? Like erase what it is. Should you have a tournament
No.
amongst all the leagues in the world to find out what's the best team in the world?
No, because that's not the way you would do it, right? So, for example,
I disagree. I think it's a really cool concept.
Hold on. Yeah, well,
even,
yes.
even as corrupt as FIFA is,
Yeah.
why is that not an interesting concept?
Oh, it's an amazing concept, but it's all wrong. Because, so for example, in the Champions League, they used to do this. Hold on. I'm going to give an example. In the Champions League, they used to treat football like FIFA. Okay, so the Champions League, when it first started, okay, was called the Champions League because it only consisted of champions. Okay, so in the original iteration, you had to be champions, champion of England, champion
then they
of Spain.
opened the doors to 4 teams or 5
Well,
teams.
because it was champion
and
of,
a coefficient.
it was champion of Ireland, and it was champion of Iceland, and it was champion of Macedonia, and it was champion whatever. And what would happen is, not surprisingly, Barcelona would beat the champion of Macedonia.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm pretty confident, and it was like 15-0.
Yeah.
Okay, so it was a joke. So FIFA does the same
That's fine though. Like the college football or college basketball thing, some teams that barely make it in, right, get battered, right? But then there's upsets. Isn't that why people like? I'm just asking. Like,
Okay,
isn't that why people like?
Sure. But what you'd have to do? So my opinion,
Puncher's chance.
My opinion is the Champions League is way better now. It's an amazing competition, and the reason why it's better, and the reason what FIFA would be well served to do is, sure, they should have a Club World Cup for sure, but instead of being like, okay, you're the champion of Asia, you're treated exactly the same as the one champion of Europe. That's bullshit. Right, so what they should do is they should make the champion of Asia play against the champion of wherever.
Like a play-in.
And then and they should have several champions from Europe and have the best teams in the world play for a world championship. So, would that be European and South American dominant right now? And there would be a puncher's chance for an MLS team or a Japanese team or something. But it would be better.
So what is it now, though?
Right now, it's the champions of all these things.
It is the champions.
Yeah, you got Saudi Arabia champion is playing against.
But the point is, like, that's why the Champions League is the best club in the world. Whoever wins that, because it's hard to say anybody in South America or Asia.
But I like
or
including those teams. But you got to have you should have the best teams from South America play in some competition against them and give them a chance, because some of those South American teams are quite good, I love that, but it shouldn't be the champion from, Antarctica.
So instead of the Club World Cup,
Penguins.
we could have the other, like the Oceania, the other Champions League.
Yeah.
Which is it's like the Europa League. Mm-hmm. And then like the winner of that could play in the Champions League
I love that.
as a guest.
Sure.
The next year.
Not a guest, it could be a real team. And that's okay if you have one.
Like, you know what I mean? It'd be
you have one. That's fine. That's what I'm saying. But you can't take all the champions from all the different parts of the world and treat them equally. That's stupid.
Yeah. We also have to bring back the supersonic plane to have global league play.
You mean the Concorde?
Yeah, the Concorde, yeah. They decommissioned it, but we'll bring it back.
Bring it back.
We'll bring it back.
FIFA could do it. No, it's just FIFA. Yeah.
FIFA, yeah.
Well, the World Cup that's coming after ours, they're going to play it all over the world.
Oh, that's a brilliant idea.
Yeah.
I forgot about
Remember
that.
this? They're
Why
going
is
to
that
have
again?
group stages in one in
like
South
South
America
America.
and one in Africa and one in, it's nuts. That's what happens when marketers get involved.
Yeah.
Mikey Dobbs.
Damn, marketers.
Who thought that was a good idea? It was like when they had the World Cup in Brazil and they were like, oh, it's got to be the whole country. And then they had that one group that was in the rainforest. And there were like 4 people watching because there's no fans in the rainforest.
It's filled with weeds right now.
Yeah, there was like
monkeys
pelicans and
multi-million-dollar stadium.
No, not pelicans. They were parakeets. All right.
Yeah. All right. I think we've definitely talked about it all.
Well, we know.
No.
Oh gosh, what's happening?
Club World Cup. You got one more World Cup.
Yeah.
U.S., Mexico. How are we feeling?
Right now about our team?
Yeah, or in general. What do you think? Well, there's all these people who are like, nobody will come to the World Cup because it's America and everybody hates America right now.
Oh, that's nonsense.
Yeah.
I agree with that.
I'm about to say no one cares where.
I thought you were
it's
going
the World Cup.
I thought you were going to talk about the U.S. men's national team.
Yeah.
People come to the World Cup and people love the
Absolutely.
United States of
Okay, how
America.
about the men's national team? People are saying Pochettino should get fired.
That's way too
Way or
crazy.
not?
Yeah.
He lost 2 games and they're going to sack him? Or what does that mean?
Can't sack him.
2 games?
Showing the cushy side.
Oh, was that the cushy side? I missed it. I don't know if I
It's
call
almost
that
like
cushy.
he's gonna give Ronnie Deila an extra
He
chance.
won a bunch and they lost 2 games. So I just need to see if I need to see another 2 before I'm like, oh my gosh, anything.
Fair,
I mean,
fair.
for my worried meter for Atlanta United, I had to see a bunch of crap before I went postal.
All right, I agree.
I mean, can they at this point make
controversy.
any sort of change before the World Cup? We're stuck with him for the World Cup, right?
Yes.
We agree with
I
that.
would think
okay,
so
I'm just
because there's no qualifying.
checking.
Or
Yeah.
we automatically.
What do you think
qualify.
about Bruce Arena's comments?
Bruce Arena? God bless him. He's a good coach, but he's an old curmudgeon.
Yeah. The fact that he was saying you have to know, you have to
Gotta
be from
know
the U.S.
American
and
soccer,
understand the
man.
culture. It's like, no, you need to understand how to coach soccer.
Exactly.
You never seen the Peanuts, like Charlie Brown, the teacher. Wah, wah, wah,
Wah, wah, wah, wah.
wah.
Yeah.
No, you shouldn't listen to him, except for if he's coaching your team, because San Jose. Call up the standings, Carmen.
Uh-oh. What we got?
Remember, I said that we should think about. So San Jose has 0 money, right? A terrible infrastructure, no fans, right? Where are they in the table, Carmen?
Where are they? They're out west.
Yeah,
I'm assuming
you
they're
missed
below
the
these
standings button.
pe- Oh, I did.
Yeah.
They're not even down there.
Up.
Okay. Ah, sorry guys.
You missed the standings button.
Standings.
Thanks, button.
My bad.
Okay,
There we
now
go.
scroll
and now
down.
we'll scroll. Do I keep scrolling? Do I keep?
Yeah,
there
keep
they
going.
are.
10. So they're dead average. Terrible.
No, but they were in Well, how many teams are in the league?
Wow.
Go down. Keep going
In the
down.
Western Conference was 20, right? So
Keep going down. Keep down.
15.
15.
Yeah,
So
so
they
they're-
were 15, 15, 15, 15, 15. They're 10th.
they're not so good, dude.
Joseph Martinez has done pretty well.
I think that just backfired on you. Good talk. All right.
To be fair, I thought they were a little bit higher.
All right.
I'm going to admit that.
Well,
That's how we roll around here.
it's Friday night. I appreciate everybody who tuned in. on
Yes,
the
thank
YouTube,
you.
Which was no one. Which I don't blame you as an Atlanta United fan because it's tough times.
Here it comes. It's turning around though.
I think we need the fan engagement. We need to take calls. Can
Probably
we
a
do
good
that?
idea. Yeah.
And have ask the podcast.
You do like a
Or
Frasier,
send in
Frasier
some
type
questions ahead of time that we'll answer.
I like it. We can have Gemini.
Right now, the team's not good enough to sustain our discussion.
Yeah.
So we need some hatred for fans.
Okay, let's try that next time. Carmen, you up for it?
Yeah.
All right.
Bring it.
Thanks for listening, everybody.
Just like back in Guadalajara. You say it, I do it, coach. Football is nice.
Add back.
Bye, guys.